Hi-oh! How is everybody this good evening? Leicester City have returned to league action then this Tuesday night as they take on Swansea City on obviously Tuesday. And Tuesday night under the lights at the King Power Stadium then is the next one. We're going to do a match preview then for the game as Leicester City take on the Swans at the King Power Stadium. And what a game this one's going to be. Then Leicester looking to get back to winning ways in the league. Swansea, not so great at the minute. I'm going to be joined by Luke from Swans Cast. He will give me the lowdown on the Swans. Guys, remember to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. If you're new to the channel and you haven't subscribed to the Final Whistle and you're a Swansea City fan and you like a bit of neutral football and that, then please hit the subscribe button. Let's see who's in then. Callum's in. Eddie's in as well. My mate Terry's in. Terry, how are you, fella? So then, let's get Luke in from Swans Cast, my guest for tonight, as we preview Swansea as they come to the King Power Stadium to take on league leaders Leicester. Luke, how are you, my friend?
Hi, I'm good, thanks. How are you?
Very good, thank you. Tell everybody, Luke, then what you do at Swans Cast.
Probably similar to yourselves, to be honest. We sort of preview all the matches. I get a guest on for that, and we got a podcast we try and put out weekly as well, with a couple of the guys that come on. We got a lot to discuss at the moment. Not really going so well. Had a new manager, a couple of heavy defeats. So yeah, all fun and games in the championship sometimes.
Yeah. Let's get to know the opposition then, Luke. Swansea City. Last time we spoke, you had Michael Duff in charge. Obviously, a lot has changed since. Maybe not on the pitch, but they have with new manager Luke Williams, who you brought in, I think it was from Notts County. How have you found life under the new manager?
Well, he's only had a couple of games, 4 in total, 2 of them being FA Cup games. Decent start in his first league game away to Birmingham, but Southampton at home, bit of a tricky one. Kind of lost the game in the first half, picked up a bit in the second half. But he's trying to completely change the style of play and reverse what Michael Duff had done, if you like, to try and go more similar to what we played last 2 seasons under Russell Martin. Obviously, we just played Southampton, so if you played those or seen them this season, you know all about that style of football. Obviously, there's going to be slight differences, but Luke Williams was actually Russell Martin's number 2 when he came in at Swansea. So he's been brought in to kind of go back down that route of playing that style of passing football to frustrate the opposition, high wing backs. Luke Williams wants to bring a more attacking part to it than maybe what we saw before, though, and a few more goals. However, we'll see if he can keep the defending at a decent level as well, because I know that was one of his Achilles heels at Notts County, at least this season so far.
Yep. 16th in the table of Swansea City, Luke. I mean, where do you see Swansea finishing at the end? I mean, how optimistic are you that they can get further up the table, or do you think they're a bit in between at the minute with the whole halfway point between like getting up there and then obviously you've obviously got the relegation, obviously what's happening down the other end of the table? Yeah. Where are you with Swansea at the minute?
We're probably kind of in the right area for where I would expect us to finish based on the situation at the moment. Obviously, there's a few days left in the transfer window, so let's see what happens there. I'm not seeing much in terms of potential incomings, although we signed someone today. Only a few days ago, his name kind of came out there. Ronaldo from a club in Brazil, escapes my mind. He'd been on loan in Portuguese First League. So yeah, a bit of an unknown, wasn't really expected, came from nowhere, but maybe a bit exciting, so we'll see. But there's not really anyone else being linked, and that's a bit of a concern, because I think there's a lot of areas maybe we need to improve, but we are having some of our team linked with moves away, so whether it's a case of need to go to bring in. but it's hard to see the vision without knowing maybe what it's going to look like in a couple of days' time on paper with the squad, because we're not really firing on all cylinders at the moment. So a bit of freshening up would be nice, but we definitely can't afford to lose anyone and not bring someone in. If that is the case, I'd be a bit more worried. But yeah, right now, where we are, but yeah, it's tricky to say either way at the moment.
Obviously, you brought in the older head in Yannick Bolasie. I mean, a winger, obviously proven at like Crystal Palace, didn't he? How is that? How have you like found Yannick Bolasie? Is he helping out quite a bit, or?
Well, he's actually ended his contract today. He was only on a 2-month contract. Yeah, so they announced today it's not being extended for whatever reason. Apparently, they just couldn't come to terms. But to be honest, I think he only started 3 games for us, and he hasn't really done that much. The first game when he came on as a substitute appearance was all, excitement, and he got the crowd off their feet. He did a couple of bits and bobs that really got us excited, but he never really showed that again afterwards. 34 again on a bit. I think you've probably seen the best of him, and that really showed. I think after he kind of exploded on in that first substitute appearance, teams knew they just needed to double mark him, and he kind of couldn't really do much. And yeah, he kind of didn't do anything for the rest of his time here, really. And it's a bit of a shame, but I think it's probably the right call to not extend him, providing they do maybe make 1 or 2 moves and bring 1 or 2 in. Otherwise, it wouldn't have hurted to keep the depth, really.
Obviously, we spoke about Swansea's form before the show. One win in the last 5. Last league game you played Southampton. I mean, how much can you take from that Southampton game? Obviously, weren't the greatest first half, to be honest, being a Swansea fan. Second half, came out much improved. A lot of chances for the Swans in that game. Lack of clinicalism is how you'd probably put it, the second half. How much do you take in a positive out of that Southampton league game?
I guess you can look directly to the previous game we had against them, which was about 1 month exactly earlier, just a couple of weeks before we played them, and they beat us 5-0. So it's immediate improvement. We scored a goal and only conceded 3. You're right in saying the first half was poor. We kind of lost the game in the first half. We did come back, got a goal 2-1, but immediately conceded to kind of throw any chance away of kind of coming back into the game. I think we scored just before half time and conceded again just before half time. So if we'd gone in 2-1, maybe it's a different game. And we did come up firing in the second half. There was a lot of chances made and we couldn't quite finish them off. But I think Southampton probably could have said the same for some of the chances they made in the first half. Having said that, it was good to see them come out in the second half and kind of put a better shift in. It's just we need to see that for 90 minutes and not just 45, because quite often, same happened against Bournemouth in the FA Cup, we're losing the match, in a half of football, and the other team is, maybe going into second gear then, and it's all well and good saying we're coming out in the second half and improving, but if they know the job's already done, then they can maybe just switch it on again if we get a goal back. It doesn't feel that fulfilling really going forward.
Yeah, agreed. Let's get on to the Tuesday night game, Luke. Swansea away at the King Power Stadium to the league leaders Leicester. What's your thoughts on this game? I mean, we'll do team selection and that later on. What's your initial thoughts going into this one?
I think it's a really bad time for us to have another difficult game. We're really not on a good run. We've got a new manager trying to bring in a new style of play, which is quite drastically different to what we've been doing, quite risky football at times. And some of the players are definitely struggling to adapt. The ones that maybe weren't here when we played this style before under Russell Martin. Bashir Humphreys in the back is one specifically that seems to be struggling with having the ball at his feet under pressure, which is what he's been expected to do, and pass it around, keep the ball in your own half, around your box. And he keeps making quite a few mistakes, getting caught out, playing a risky ball because he's struggling or can't see the man who's free. And it kind of fills you with nerves. So to go to the top of the table, high-flying Leicester, I thought we played quite well against you in the last fixture, considering Michael Duff and everything that happened with him. And maybe it didn't go quite so well, but that was one of the games where his style stood out and showed that there is maybe something there. I would imagine we would look quite different in this one, but I'm not sure it would bring us any more success than what we had last time. But But we'll see. Maybe they'll have a reaction after getting a drubbing on midweek. So we'll see.
Yeah, for this one with Leicester, they need to get back to winning ways in the league. Losing to Coventry and drawing to Ipswich in their last 2 league games, dropping points with Southampton, obviously on the amazing form that they're on in the league. It puts pressure on, doesn't it? Obviously, Leicester being 8 points clear at the top at the minute.
Yeah.
You're facing a Swansea side who they look depleted, don't they? They look a side who lack that little bit of confidence and that little bit of spark. This is a game where we can't be complacent at all, obviously. How do you see Swansea coming out to play against Leicester? Do you see a side in Swansea who will come and give it a go, or do you think they'll come back and kind of like park the bus sort of thing, Luke, and make Leicester work for it and come and frustrate us as much as they can? Which side do you see it going?
I don't think we park the bus. I think Luke Williams has come in to bring a style of football, and he said himself, there's no point hanging about, it's going to be tough, but you come in halfway through the season, you want to have a pre-season. We don't have that luxury, and it is what it is. Got to work through it and just start it now. And I think I expect to continue to see that, which is what we've already been seeing. So it might look like you have more of the ball or attacking us a bit more, but it won't be because we are parking the bus, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
It will be because you're playing better than us. But I expect us to try and play our game, which is keeping the ball, but being a bit more direct with attacking threat. We'll have the wing-backs pushed quite high up the pitch, which you probably think they're wingers, but they're wing-backs, and that's what leaves us vulnerable then, going backwards, unless he tweaks something there, because I know he did credit the fact that he played 2 attacking against Bournemouth and then they just ripped us open. So I wonder if he'll change anything there, but that's generally how he's set up so far. Really, really high line, and I guess that's what invites pressure on then when we are trying to keep the ball, if we just want it back or from a goal kick, and the defenders are getting used to having people pressing them under pressure and being expected to play a pass to maintain possession rather than just clear their lines. And obviously the opposition, when that's the game plan, you just know you've got to get in the faces of these guys and they make a mistake. So it's going to be a tricky one for them, I think. But I hope they can step up and show improvement, I guess, because we definitely need to see improvement from the last game. Continue what they had in the second half against Southampton, if possible, from the off. And as long as we can show a good performance, I don't think anyone will be too disappointed, even if it isn't the result that we want.
Who do you see threatening Leicester? I mean, what kind of players do you see from a Swansea perspective who can really cause Leicester problems?
To be honest, at the moment, our informed players probably been Josh Timon from a left wing back, who definitely since Luke Williams has come in has kind of had a little bit more of an attacking freedom. He got 2 assists against Birmingham, probably should have got a 3rd. And he kind of has been given this role to create on that left-hand side. He's a wing-back, so, primarily defensive, but I think in Luke Williams' system, the idea is those players also offer the same in opposition and offensive threat in the wing areas, and that's where he wants a lot of his creativity to come from. So he's shown that he can stand up into that role since the new manager's come in. And otherwise, I think maybe Jamie Patterson has been one of the other stand-up players this season. Not I say stand out, he hasn't necessarily been setting the world on fire, but he's definitely had a better season than last season and been a consistent performer who looks like doing something and working hard for the team and all the rest of it. So he's one that has kind of caused a bit of a threat this season consistently for us as well.
And what about Mr. Yates? I mean, how's he been?
So I didn't mention Yates because he's actually been linked with the move away. I don't know how much
is it
truth. Blackburn yesterday,
Blackburn.
But the manager's played it down today as just speculation. But it's all over Twitter that the club is willing to listen to offers for him and kind of wants to get rid on a permanent basis more than loan as well. And we only signed him in the summer for 2 point whatever million as our main man, if you like. So if he does go, this is what I mean. In terms of the squad, when you ask me where we are this season, I can't see him being allowed to leave if we aren't planning on bringing a replacement striker in, because it leaves us quite short. Jamalo's currently injured. we got a Ukrainian kid that we signed in the summer that's barely played, and Liam Cullen has hardly played a striker this season. So there's really not many options if we're not going to replace Yates. I would be shocked to see him leave if there's not someone coming through the door, which we haven't had any inkling to say that there is someone coming in. So I'm not sure. So if he is on his way out, whether he's in the squad tomorrow, maybe that would be a sign. But I'm not sure if he'd probably start if he's not leaving, because as I said, Jamal Lowe is injured, so it's kind of the like for like obvious replacement. But he's on a bit of a bad barren spell as well. Looks lack of confidence, and yeah, he's struggling at the moment.
Yeah, I remember the Jerry Yates one. Obviously, there was reports of Leicester being linked with him in the summer and that. I think you brought him. Was how much did you buy him for? Was it £2 million?
2.4, something along those
2.4.
lines. But we also sent them one of our young players, I think, and it wasn't kind of part of the deal, but it was, if that makes sense.
Is it still a good? Where's that?
Oh, it's a stretch of road that essentially goes all around the coast. Quite an affluent area of Swansea called Mumbles, a little seaside village. Really nice area. And yeah, there's quite a few pubs along the way, so still a good drink. Probably a little bit less than there used to be in terms of pubs that are open down there, but you can definitely make it work and have a good time if you still wanted to, yeah.
Have you got any questions on Leicester, Luke?
I know you're saying you're having a bit of a dip in form. Do you expect that to continue, or you think it's just... I saw the Coventry game, a bit of it anyway, and I guess the red card probably had a big impact there. So do you think maybe back to normal ways this week, or...
Yeah, I think we're just lacking numbers, obviously, in midfield and that, with Cassidy going back to Chelsea and Ndidi being out, Ndidi a crucial part of the player in the squad. Obviously, Atgun had a good second half against Birmingham City. Dennis Pratt, another option who we can maybe rely on, to be fair, if need be. Obviously, Stefano Sensi, I know that name keeps getting mentioned with Leicester, obviously. Apparently, he's agreed personal terms, and obviously that deal is apparently going to be done within the next 36 hours. So, yeah, that's according to Fabrizio Romano. But Fabrizio Romano has been reporting about that transfer quite often, so I'm hoping it happens. But we'll have to wait and see. Obviously, there have been rumours on Keenan Dewsbury Hall, with Leicester wanting 40 million plus add-ons for him. Obviously, Brighton tested the waters. I believe Brentford are interested as well, so we'll have to see what happens to that one. But with Enzo, you don't want to get rid of Dewsbury Hall, and I can completely agree. You don't want to get rid of your best players. I mean, Dewsbury Hall's been a very outstanding player this season, and a Leicester shirt. He's the man who wants to lead the team back to the Premier League, and you don't really want to get rid of players like that this crucial part of the season.
We'll go to someone like Brentford when you're looking very on course to be promoted. I feel like it's just wait 6 months and get the promotion under your belt, Surely that's more of an achievement, and kind of move into a club that I would say would be in the same battle as yourselves next season.
I agree. Do you think Sensi will be announced tomorrow? I'm not sure. Fabrizio Romano said 36 hours, but I believe the transfer window shuts on Wednesday, is it, Luke?
Yeah, Wednesday is it this week, I believe.
Wednesday.
Either Wednesday or Thursday, I can't remember.
Yeah, one of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, hopefully we can get a few, get Sensi deal done, and we'll go from there. But let's have a look at the head-to-head then. First versus 16th, 28 played, 21-8 in wins. Then we look at 3-9 in draws, 4-11 in losses. Then we look at the championship record, Luke. 5 played between the two sides. Leicester have got 3 wins. Swansea have got 2. Interesting one, that one, how it's only 1 win, which puts them apart, to be honest.
Yeah.
Then we look at the last 5 results at the King Power Stadium. In the league, a 1-1 draw, 2018, 2016, 2-1 win. The title winning season in April, 4-0 win. 2-0 win against Swansea in April 2015, and then the 2-1 win, Swansea 2011. Let's have a look at the last time you faced us in the Championship, Luke, were 2011. 2-1 win for Leicester. Darius Vassell, Bruno Berner with the goals for Leicester. I was watching the highlights earlier on YouTube, to be fair. It looked a very good game. You obviously look back on games and you think, yeah, what a game. What games they was. I think you had De Vries in goal at that point.
Really key part of our promotion sort of era, I guess.
Yeah,
didn't want to stay with us, though, when we went to the Premier League, and that didn't work out for him, so...
I mean, in all honesty, from a financial perspective, KDH is a 141. His fees in regards to getting promoted via him. It's good for his promotion. Last time we faced out, then Luke. Last time out, a 3-1 win for the Foxes. Swansea first off though caused Leicester problems, didn't they, Luke? To be fair, to Swansea, Grimes did score to put you ahead. Vestergaard scored for the Foxes with Fatawu and Iheanacho. Leicester obviously got better in the second half. I think Swansea, you could agree, tired out, didn't they, second half, with Leicester making them work quite more than what they did in the first half.
Yeah, I think it was a spirited performance from Swansea. They put everything into the game. You know, it looked at the start like maybe they could make it difficult and get something out of it, but I think the longer that it went on, you know, the quality showed through, and yeah, you're probably right in saying that quality tired us out and we just couldn't keep up by the end.
Egg-to-egg competition Tuesday, obviously. Yeah, the egghead competition, Maresca and Luke Williams. It's obviously because they're bold in it. Do you get what I mean? It might be a bold move for either manager on the Tuesday night, but we'll have to wait and see who comes out on top. Fingers crossed it's Leicester, though. Obviously, tough game and all that. We just got to work on and be clinical. And if we do go 1-0 up, then we've got to go and kill games off. You know what I mean? I think that's something we've lacked against Ipswich twice. And, it's been quite disheartening. Look, when you concede very late on into like the 90 or something, you think, how the hell have we not won that? But you've been like the better team. And then you've kind of like, the big chances you've not taken. But then in this league, it's crucial to take your chances as a tick. If you don't, the Championship's one of them leagues where you can easily get punished.
Yeah, no, definitely. You've got to take your chances. Like, we've kind of learned all about that this season. And, well, I say this season, for the last few seasons. I think last season we probably should have got into the playoffs with Russell Martin, but it was a story of what could have been for the entire season. And late goals, there was a couple of stories of us. We had 2-0 win in injury time that ended up being a 2-2 draw, and a 3-2 winning in injury time ended up being a 4-3 defeat. Those two games, if we had held on for the wins, would have meant we finished in the playoffs. So
we like to do the foot in both camps, Luke. Obviously, we spoke about them last time. Obviously, these times I've kind of like put probably some before our era, to be honest. One you'll know off your head anyway. Obviously, these are some old players. You can tell by the photographic images. Paul Reed played for both clubs. Robbie James, Alan Waddle, Ryan Bennett. Though, I mean, Ryan Bennett. How did he get on at Swansea City? Obviously, he weren't the greatest at Leicester on loan, but how do you find him at Swansea?
So first of all, I was expecting to see Nathan Dyer pop up there after winning the league with you, but Ryan Bennett.
We spoke about him last time.
We had him last time. Ryan Bennett, when he came here under Steve Cooper, was an absolute rock, and we've always been known for playing a part in football. He's probably not a player that fits into that mould, but Steve Cooper, one thing that he did do at Swansea when he was here was shore up the defence, and Ryan Bennett was such a key part of that, like no nonsense, just clear your lines. And at the time, we were successful with Steve Cooper. We got back-to-back playoffs. Andre Ayew was a really good goal scorer for us, and he would get a goal or work hard up top, and him or Jamal Lowe would score, and Bennett being part of the defence that held on to a 1-0 lead was quite a similar theme for that season. So yeah, he did a really good job. It didn't quite work out for him when Russell Martin came in, and I think his lack of on-the-ball ability kind of shone through, especially at the age that he was as well, 33, 34. And yeah, he kind of fell out with the team and moved on. But he did have a good spell here, I think, yeah.
Touching on Nathan Dyer, fantastic loan for Leicester, to go on loan from Swansea to go to the Premier League and then obviously go and win the Premier League title. It's what dreams are made of when you go on loan to a club, isn't it? Look, obviously, he did score that big goal against Aston Villa to get us the crucial 3 points in that season. But yeah, he was influential in that season. Nathan Dyer, very good for you lot as well. Yeah, what's your initial thoughts on Nathan Dyer at Swansea? You know, is he goes down as one of your best wingers, or?
Yeah, look, I don't know if he's one of the best wingers in terms of overall quality, but consistency, high output, and had a really important role in our rise to the Premier League. And when we got there, you know, he played for us for a number of seasons and was quite. He's one of those players that was exciting to watch when he was at his prime and got bums off seats, you know, and that's what you want from a winger, really. And back in the day when he was first brought in, I think it was one of those moves that he was a player that couldn't quite settle. It wasn't quite going right for him. You know, he had some problems off the pitch and he came and found a home at Swansea. So it worked for him as well as it worked for us. And obviously when that happens to a player, I think you get the best out of them.
Yeah, I remember when we had Lloyd Dyer and you had Nathan Dyer, you know, Battle of the Dyers when we played each other, you know, fantastic seeing them both, bloody the speed of them both to attacking each other's defences, you know. Luke, team selection. I mean, how do you see Luke Williams going into this one? How does he change from the Southampton game? Does he change formation? I mean, who comes in from obviously that game? Do you see many changes in this game?
I think the formation won't change because he seems to be consistently playing with a 5 at the back. I say 5 at the back. It probably seems more like a 3 with how high the wing backs are, as I mentioned earlier. Sometimes it can look tricky though when you watching them play, whether it's a 5 or a 4. I'm quite convinced that it's a 5 the majority of the time. It just adjusts based on in or out of possession and the setup at the time. But in terms of personnel changes, well, Jamal Lowe picked up an injury against Southampton, so he definitely won't be featuring. Again, I mentioned Jerry Yates. Not quite sure how true the speculation is. If he's not leaving, I'd expect him to start. If he is leaving, I would expect Liam Cullen to move into that role, which leaves an opportunity where Liam Cullen was playing, which is behind the striker, whether Charlie Patino would slot in there or obviously we've got the new sign-in, Ronald. I'm not really quite sure if he's going to be used in the role behind the striker on the wing-back area, considering he's a winger and we don't really have out-and-out wingers, but I doubt he would start his first game anyway, to be honest, and he only signed today, so whether it's too soon for him tomorrow, maybe he'll be on the bench. Otherwise, looking at the squad from Southampton, I don't really see many changes other than potentially Yates and Patino coming in, if I'm honest with you. So probably like for like everywhere else.
Yep.
I can go through the guys if you like. Sorry. So taking the liberty of saying it's on my screen in front of me, but of course no one else can see that. But Carl Rushworth in goal, who's actually been a really positive signing for us in the summer on loan from Brighton. Biased, but I would say one of the goalkeepers of the season in the Championship. And the reason I say that is because we could have conceded so many more goals in some games if it wasn't for some of the outstanding saves that he's made. He's got an error in him sometimes with the way he plays the ball, but you know he's a young keeper on loan in the Championship for a reason, and he's here for his shot stopping ultimately, and he's been really good at that. In the defence, then you've got Bashir Humphreys on loan from Chelsea. Actually got called up to the England squad in the summer. Didn't get a cap, but it doesn't look like a player that you would think would get called up at the moment. I'm sure you will see that tomorrow. Nathan Wood and Harry Darling are the other back two I would expect to see. Nathan Wood was subject to a 10 million bid from Southampton in the summer, which probably shouldn't have turned down. He got, like the week after that, he got a 3-month injury layoff, so always the way, isn't it? Josh Tymon, who I said earlier on, probably be a threat from left wing back, and Harrison Ashby I would expect to see at right wing back, considering our other main right back, Josh Key, is injured. Ashby's on loan from Newcastle. Matt Grimes and Jay Felton I would expect to see in the centre of the park, kind of ever-present partnership there. And Jamie Patterson as well, starting just behind the striker, as well as the other two, who I would expect maybe would be Charlie Patino and Liam Cullen or Jerry Yates.
Yeah, Leicester, Hermanson in goal, Vestergaard, Fass, Ricardo, James Justin, Harry Winks. I think McAteer will start right wing with Mavadidi out left. Dewsbury Hall will start this game, I'm sure of it. And then he'll be partnered by Eunice at gun, I think. And then I think Tom Cannon will start. Obviously, Patson Daka's back from the African Cup of Nations, so he's ready to start the game tomorrow as well. If we do choose either one of them two, let's go with score prediction, Luke. I mean, what's your head and heart for this one, mate? Guys, get score predictions in as well. How do you see this one going?
I think it's going to be a really tough day at the office again for Swansea. I don't see us winning the game, I'll be honest. I would love to see us score a goal and show some progress on what we're trying to work on with our new game plan and style. Hopefully we can also show some improvements in our defending. So if we come away with something like a 2-1 defeat, I know it sounds stupid to say, but that's going in the right direction for us. Maybe I'm being optimistic though, and I feel like maybe the scoreline will be a little bit bigger than 2-1.
I'm going to go with a 3-0 Leicester. I think we'll keep a clean sheet. We'll just got to go and take our big chances tomorrow in the game and, put pressure on that Swansea defence from the start. We'll just go take that positivity from that second half from Birmingham and, go and really push on with the game against Swansea. 3-0 from me. Chester Leicester's gone 3-0. Are we doing the predictions tonight? No. The predictions will be back Thursday, Dave, for Championship predictions, week 30. Luke, thanks for coming on, mate. Do appreciate it as always.
That's okay. Thanks for having me.
Tell everybody where they can find you, mate, before I let you go.
Yeah, you can catch us on Swanscast Podcast on YouTube's our main platform where everything is, and also our podcast goes out on Spotify and all the other platforms, and then Twitter is our main social media as well, so just type in, X, Swanscast on the search and we should come up hopefully, so yeah, you can catch us there.
Cheers, Luke. All the best for Swansea for the rest of the season after tomorrow night, pal.
No worries, thanks for having me.
Cheers, mate. That was Luke from Swanscast. Go and drop them a follow. Go check them out. If you're a neutral, guys, if you've enjoyed this stream, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel as well. If you're new to the channel and you haven't subscribed, please do so. And that is it from me then. Dave's gone 2-1 Leicester. What's coming up on the final whistle then? So we'll have the match day vlog. That'll be out on Wednesday morning, so be sure to go and check that out as well. The Championship predictions will be back, and then we'll be doing a match preview for Stoke versus Leicester as Leicester head to the Bet365 Stadium on Saturday in the game after Swansea. So, yeah, big games coming up. Thanks for watching, guys, as always. Keep it the final whistle, and come on, the Foxes. Hi all, thank you for watching the final whistle. If you enjoy all our content, please remember to smash a like, share and subscribe to the channel.